Hey, what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds, and in this video, I am going to share with you why I am not doing this deal anymore. I was about to buy a property, a project, a development opportunity in just outside of Warsaw, and I've talked about this. I've been talking about it for the last couple of days at some of my events. However, something happened, due diligence happened, and I decided to walk away from the deal. Now, I really believe that in property investment, sometimes knowing what not to do is as important as knowing what to do, because knowing when to walk away is just as important as being told to take action and to step in. So I had a property opportunity. Someone actually at one of my courses, I've been running a crash course tour, someone who I know, trusted friend that was at the crash course tour, pitched me on an idea of buying a pub conversion just outside of Warsaw, and I'm from Warsaw, so I'm like, yeah, man, I love the idea. And you know, he showed me the numbers, he gave me a due diligence sheet, and I paid this person who is a friend and, you know, a good property investor. I paid them a £5,000 finder's fee for this pub conversion, and the figures were as follows. He had negotiated to buy the pub for £125,000. I'm like, cool. The pub already had planning permission in place to turn to 12 apartments. It was going to cost apparently around about £400,000 to turn it to 12 apartments. I'm like, okay, great. That means 400 grand in, 125. You're talking about £525,000 all in. Am I going to use my money? Of course not. I'm going to get bridging finance or development finance, or I'm going to pull in private investment onto the deal. So I'll put a little bit of my money in. So that was the deal, 525 all in. And then the end value was £800,000 once all the apartments were done and finished. So, you know, there was about £275,000 profit. So the deal seemed okay. So what is the net percentage profit on that deal? And he'd done all his due diligence. So if the end value was 800,000, which he said would be conservative, times 0.25 minus 200,000, it's going to leave you 600,000. So it's a good deal. It makes it stacked. So I'm like, you know what, it sounds really good. So I paid a £5,000 finder's fee, and that was that. However, something happens, and this is why I decided to walk out. So firstly, I calculated the gross development value, i.e. the end value of the property, and I think 800,000 was a little bit optimistic. So when I looked at it, I did some comparables. Now this pub, by the way, he'd done the comparables by saying, look, there's these apartments that were selling for X amount, which, so the due diligence was done. The problem was, this pub was in a slightly rough part of town. Sometimes you can have a road, and one end of the road, the house prices, or the apartment prices, can be more than the other end of the road. So first lesson is, know your area, know your patch. So when I looked at the property at the pub, I'm like, I don't think the end value is going to be £800,000. I think it's going to be more like £700,000. So straight away, most of your profits gone just on miscalculating the end value. However, what gets worse is when I sent the estimations to my brother, Ben Machakanyanga, he looked at the property and he also said that he thought that the cost of refurb, costs have gone up a lot. The prices of building materials have gone up a lot. He thought that that was a little bit low, only about 8 or 9% wrong. But the thing is, if you're 10% wrong on your GDV and 10% wrong on your refurb costs, I mean, you could be 20% out. Well, your profit might be 20%, so that means you could potentially be making zero money, and then you're just refurbing a pub for fun, but you're not going to make any money. It doesn't make sense. So this deal looked great on paper, but after doing serious due diligence, it ended up, it wasn't actually a good deal at all. So I told my friend, and he refunded me the £5,000 finder's fee. I was within my 14-day due diligence calling off period, and now I'm not doing the pub anymore. I'm really disappointed because I've talked about it. I've been sharing about, oh, I've just bought this, I've just paid this finder's fee, I'm about to buy this pub, but I'm not doing it anymore. So if anyone's heard the story about this pub, this is what's gone wrong, this is what's happened. However, I actually think if I bought it, and if I did it up, and if I could even vlog it, or if I shared the success with my students, I actually think that you're probably gonna learn more from what didn't happen and what went wrong than if it actually went successful and went ahead. There's so many lessons in this. Let me know in the comment box, what do you think the key lessons are from this deal? I think number one, the first lesson is always make sure that you use your formulas, not your feelings. When emotions are high, intelligence is low. I wanted to go ahead with this deal because I knew the pub, I grew up in Warsaw, and I genuinely just wanted to restore it, but I needed to remember that this isn't about what I want to do, this isn't about my feelings, my emotions, this is about the formulas of the deal. That's the first lesson. Second lesson is, always be prepared to walk away. Just because you've paid a finder's fee, just because you've paid a survey, just because you are invested, whether that be resources, time, money, doesn't mean that you have to go ahead with a deal, unless you're buying it from auction or from Scotland, where the rules are different, but be prepared to walk away from a deal. Third lesson is, prices of materials have gone up a lot in the last year or two, so factor that in on your refurb costs. Due diligence, due diligence, due diligence. Get the right team and professionals to go out and look at your properties. Also, know the area well. Next lesson, know the area well. Make sure that you calculate the gross development value, i.e. the end value, based on like-for-like comparables, not comparables quarter of a mile away that are actually in a better side of town. So I thought I'd share this video with you for complete transparency, so you can see what I'm doing, and I hope you learned some valuable lessons. If you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe right up here. Also, there's a whole playlist of videos of properties that have gone wrong and things that haven't worked out. So if you want to learn from my mistakes, check out the playlist right here. And I hope you can join me at the Property Millionaire Intensive, where I'm going to be sharing how to make money from property, not just buying properties and renting them out, but actually pushing the value up and then selling them or refinancing them. Hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.